prepare for that?
Oh, I don't know. Are there?
No McKinnon, no McCarr, no Duran, Scott Radcliffe, no McManson.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say that'll change our power play for sure. But we'll focus on ourselves as we always do. We certainly it'll change Smitty's pre-scout for the power play. I'm sure he'll figure something else out there. But we got to just do what we do. If we do what we do well against anybody, that gives us our best chance.
Jim, Drew's obviously looked like he's pushing pretty hard there. What's most realistic? Tomorrow, the road trip?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I've heard that. I talked to somebody. They said Drew looked good. I didn't even see him. I left early. So I haven't talked to him, haven't talked to Kinger. The fact that you said he looked good and somebody else told me that, that's a really positive sign. I'm not overly optimistic just based on that, but that's a good sign. I would say that.
How much consideration is there for his case, to get him in a game or two before, or is there maybe a thought of, maybe it's best to just let him fully recover here and just get ready for game one?
Right, it'll be a balance. I would say he'd be fully recovered before we put him in, but he wants to play a couple games. I think every player does who's gone through that, wants to get at least a couple games just to get the timing and rhythm back. And so if we can do that, we'll look forward to do that. So that'll be the answer to that question.
The game one was tonight. Do you think you'd have all your players available? Without talking specific
Yeah,
players?
I do. Yeah, I think everybody will play.
Going back to Drew real quick, I was asking him about the Masterton Trophy nominee. He does not want that nomination, but he's got that nomination.
Didn't have a choice, yeah.
Yes, and how about his resilience though, as a player? That might not be an award he wants to win, but he's gone through so much this season. How resilient has he been?
Yeah, he's really had to challenge himself in a lot of different areas. So I think, there's the Masterton is such a great award as much as he doesn't want to be nominated. Because this game is so difficult. So every player that's been nominated throughout the league is special. They really are. To play in the league is special, but then to have to go through what everybody's gone through for a season like this, on top of all that. But I would say for Drew, to me, it's one of his defining moments of his career to be able to go through what he went through, play 6 games, and go join that Four Nations tournament. That's as impressive as anything for me, and so he should be proud of that. He shouldn't look down on that in any way. I hope he wins it. I think I don't know all the candidates, but I'll tell you what, he's pretty darn deserving.
With Drew, is it hard to play tomorrow?
Sorry,
Turcotte gonna play tomorrow?
we'll see.
With Drew, is it hard to evaluate when he's ready because there isn't really a 100% healed with him? It feels like even when he's at 100% of what he can be, it's still not like a true 100%.
Yeah. I think him and Kinger. He's probably the best judge, right? He can explain it to everybody and say, this is how I'm feeling. I think him and Kinger have a great relationship. So Kinger I think can read between the lines with Drew. He knows exactly where he's at. And so those two, I think, work really well together. And, Kinger's not going to put him in any jeopardy. He's never going to get him out there when he's not ready to be out there. They'll work through that together, and I really trust the relationship they have.
Jim, I heard some post-game comments from some players after the last game. They felt you spent time previously in previous practice working on offensive stuff. Normally we think of defensive structure. Is there a structure to Ozo?
There's some principles. I would agree. I would say yes. There's some. I don't want to call it structure as much, but I would certainly call it principles. Things that we want to try and do. You're under so much in defense without the puck. You can control a little bit more. When you have the puck, you got to react to the pressure that you're getting, and sometimes people aren't in the spots you expect them to be because they've got you the puck. So you get the puck in different ways sometimes. But there are some principles that we've really tried to focus on, I think especially over the last, I would say month, but over the last 10 days more so. And you're always worried when you do that the guys are going to go, all right. And then forget everything about defense because now we're talking about offense. But our guys have proven that not to be the case. So we really have emphasized that quite a bit here. And we will continue right to to the time the playoffs start.
And I'm not telling you something you don't know. You had bodies around the net last night
Mm-hmm.
on your,
Yeah.
on your finishes.
Yeah, that's part of it, for sure. It's part of it. Kopi's goal was,
Mhm.
Kopi wasn't at the net, but Juice was, and the tip was high, and, you know, makes it pretty difficult. So that's a really nice goal. That would be classified as structure in the ozone.
If you went out, you would set the franchise record for points in the season by a team. Does that have any meaning to you?
We would be proud of that, for sure. It's not a focus, but, yeah, without a doubt, we'd be proud of that.
The last loss to Colorado, still pretty fresh in your guys' mind. Do you feel like that might help everybody, regardless of matchups, lineups, who's in and out, kind of focus on it's important to play well because of what happened last time?
Yeah, the game before in Colorado caught us coming, I think it was a back-to-back out of Calgary. So we didn't play them well either game. And I think probably the other teams that are in and around the playoffs, at least we've had one strong game against all those teams, but we haven't had a strong game against them yet. So I think so. I think that's one team that I don't think has seen our best yet.